It's that time of year, folks. 183 days through the year, and we are officially halfway through. You know what that means? It's the staple of the booktube community, one of the key delineators of calendrical time. And as a new / aspiring member of the booktube community, I decided this was my time. This was my first and truly only opportunity to make a break into the big wide world of book tags. So here I am, about to attempt for the first time the mid-year freak-out book tag. Yeah, I know. I'm sure you all know what it is. People who've been watching booktube cannot have got away from it, even if they tried. I really hope that you enjoy this. If you do, feel free to subscribe or like. But really, I'm just doing this for me, guys, okay? So it doesn't even matter what you think, but... So it may not be true, but according to my sources, the creators of this book tag were Read Like Wildfire and Earl Grey Books. Both of which are fabulous names, by the way. So whoever they are, and if that's true, which I hope it is, thank you very much for contributing this wonderful type of video to our group. You know, it's valued, it's appreciated. Okay, the first question is, and by the way, I'm doing this completely off the cuff, so I really don't know if I'm going to repeat myself or anything like that, because frankly, I think it's more honest and true if I just read the questions, give you my honest answer, and we'll see what happens. So the first question is best book I've read so far in 2022. Now, I think that has to go to Travelling Cat Chronicles, because I read it in January, February, I think, and it just hit me where it needed to hit me. It fulfilled all of the things I love: lovely friendship stories, cats, nature imagery. It was adorable, it was beautiful, it was just right, and it wasn't very long. I just had a fabulous time. So I think that one takes the top spot in terms of like what's going to actually stick with me. What book am I going to remember for a really long time? And I think it's definitely the cat book. Have a look. Have a look in the card above for the video where I show myself crying my eyes out to said ending of the book, because it really is a tough one. Okay, second, best sequel I've read so far in 2022. Now that might be more challenging because I haven't really read many series for quite a while. I suppose Death on the Nile counts because it is a Hercule Poirot Christie novel. I haven't read the prior ones, but it is later in the series. So that's all I can come up with. If I think of anything else, I'll put it on screen now. But when I say I don't really read series very often, I really mean it. The third question is new release I haven't read yet but I want to, and that definitely has to go to Delilah Green Doesn't Care, because I have been seeing the kind of progress for many months now on Instagram, like by the author and stuff, sort of hyping it up, getting ready for pre-order, and then now it's actually come out. I just haven't had an opportunity to get it. I don't even know if it's published in the UK. I assume it is, but I had a bit of a shock recently with LaCour where her books aren't, you know, licensed to publish in the UK. So we'll see if it turns up on my radar anytime soon, but I really hope it does, because it just sounds like a brilliant adult sapphic romance, and we just need more of that content in our lives, no? Number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. That's even trickier because I truly don't keep up with these things. I know that what I literally just said for number 3 might dispute that fact, but that's more just because it was crossing my radar due to this sheer volume of queer content that I look at on Instagram already. So it kind of came up on one of my feeds. I haven't had any such situations for things later in the year, and I don't go out of my way to look for coming releases. I really can't offer any solutions here, sorry. Number 5, biggest disappointment, which... Now, the first thing that comes to mind for this one is actually Some Girls Do by Jennifer Dugan, I think is her name. It was a queer YA romance that I read, not for my challenge. To see all of the books that I've been reading for that challenge, look up here. It was just for fun, and I picked it up and I thought it was going to be pretty cool and fun. And then it actually was just so many really problematic narratives. But I just wasn't having fun, and I can't remember how much I rated it, but it really will never be read again. So that one was definitely a truly disappointing book, and it's the first thing that comes to mind, so I feel like that says something. Biggest surprise, however, for number 6, I feel like that's going to be Fried Green Tomatoes at the Whistle Stop Cafe by... okay, I don't remember who it's by, but you can see it on the screen. A brilliant, like, multi-generational romp historical fiction with 2 sapphic women as the main centerpiece. It's set near Birmingham, Alabama, all about racism and race relations and class relations, and you know, heteronormativity and all sorts of things. And it's kind of set across the decades from, you know, close to 1900 all the way to the 1980s. And so you just get this really interesting like panopticon of Southern life in the USA. And it's not like, for example, If I Was Your Girl, which I thought it was so toxic and nothing ever gets really done about it. It's not questioned. Instead, it's like showing how people are passionate and change and truly are good at heart. I just thought it was a really wonderful read for many reasons. So I think in terms of biggest surprise, that's that one. I was intimidated by how long it was. I'd heard it was a good like queer book, but I was still a bit like, And then I actually read it in like basically 48 hours. The whole thing, all like 400, 500 pages of it, because I read it like on the way to and then on the way back from Venice, where I was like for my birthday this year. You know, I got through it very quickly for the length it was, and it was just such a fantastic book. I really enjoyed it and was definitely surprising. I'm gonna scream. Trying to be an influencer, guys. They're setting up for the end of term party. Number 7, favourite new author, both debut or new to you, and I have to definitely say Nina LaCour for that one. Like I say, Watch Over Me was absolutely gorgeous, one of my favourites of the year, completely for sure. It was just so beautiful, and every single word was just used so well. It hit me so deeply. I was filled with this homesickness and longing, and I was absolutely absorbed by it, like by every single word. So I'm so excited to read what more she's got out. I have heard that, you know, We Are Okay is another absolute smash hit of hers, but she's got a whole bunch of books. So I'll be seeking out that backlog when and if I can, although, like I said, a lot of it isn't actually freely available in the UK. And also, I have a lot of books on my TBR, guys. It might not happen for a while, but I hope it does. Number 8, newest fictional crush. That's unfortunate, I'm asexual. Number 9, newest favourite character in general. I can do this one. I feel like Frances from Conversations with Friends. Again, this is my first reaction, so I think that says all it needs to say, which is that I found her so understandable. I guess it was because I saw myself in her that I liked her. Oh, is that really egotistical of me? Maybe it is. Everything she did, even if it was awful, I understood, and it was just so enjoyable reading from her perspective. Similarly, her, Frances, and also Emma from Jane Austen, which I'm currently reading, I haven't finished yet at the time of filming. She is just ludicrous. It is wonderful. Number 10, book that made me cry. Cat book. Been there, done that. The only other book that's made me cry this year that I can immediately think of, at least, is The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini. Again, also still reading that at the time of recording, but there's this section, it wasn't even the tragic, sad section that got me crying. I was more just shocked and appalled. But the really just lovely, happy section where he is starting to sort of make his way in the USA, he's got married, and he is the main character here, Amir. Just this little passage where it was just so wholesome, and I literally just started sobbing. It was brilliant. Number 11, book that made me happy. Oh, that's a bit tricky. I would say Emma, I would say a bunch of queer books, obviously. What else have I read this year? But I can't look for inspiration on my story graph. That literally defeats the whole purpose. Come on, think of something. What's made me happy? I would say Heartstopper, but I haven't actually read it this year. I have seen loads and loads of snapshots of it on Instagram, and I've also watched the TV show, but I haven't actually read it. So I can't really say that, but just know if anything's made me truly joyous this year, it is Heartstopper. What have I read? I'm gonna have to go with Amelia Westlake by Erin Gough, because again, I just really can't think of anything else. It is a wonderful queer YA romance set in Australia. It's between two girls who are completely opposites and don't get on. It's kind of enemies to lovers, but not even enemies, just people who just don't get each other and don't hang out. And basically they accidentally form a little alliance where they start drawing political cartoons about their school, anonymously in the school newspaper. And just get up to all sorts of mischief together and fall in love. So it was a great time. Number 12, most beautiful book I've either received or bought this year. I've bought a lot of books this year, I'll be quite honest with you. Right. I've just knocked everything off my shelf. Good job, me. Okay, so I've got two with me that, like, I think are really gorgeous. Both just because they are just so aesthetically put together. And those are Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro, like one of the newer editions where his whole collection have been kind of done in the same graphic style. And it truly is just lovely. I've not read it yet, but also Careless by Kirsty Capes, which I don't know. I just really like this cover. I can't really put my finger on why. I think it's the bright colours. Okay, it's probably the bright colours. I am in fact a rainbow at heart. But I think it's also a really effective way of doing the title as well, like splitting up Careless, because it just adds another dimension, you know? And what books do I need to read by the end of the year? By God, it's a shit ton. See my Bali TBR for more. See everything I'm doing. Follow me on Storygraph if you wish at Libdibs. But I really, really want to read a lot of stuff. If I have to put my finger on a couple, let's say Careless by Kirsty Capes, Beautiful World, Where Are You by Sally Rooney, and I really want to get Norwegian Wood by Haruki Murakami done because it's been on my shelf for a couple of years now. I'll say those three, just for randoms, just for vibes only. But I really do have so many physical TBR books I haven't read yet, and that's not even thinking about the amount, like, you know, Kindle, libraries. It's just, there's a lot. So there's a lot I want to read. The three, I'll say definitively, are Beautiful World, Where Are You, Careless, and Norwegian Wood. Is that all the questions? Yes. Okay. So now I've done all the book tag. Woo, that's an achievement. That is a new start on BookTube, post first book tag. So anyway, thank you very much for joining me. Please tell me down below what you thought of any of these books if you've read them, especially the ones that I haven't read yet. Tell me what your plans are. If you had to answer this book tag, what would you put? All sorts of things. Just let me know. Just let me know what's going on with you. I want to know. Thank you very much for coming, and hope you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.